Stop looking for a reason. Stop asking what you did wrong. You didn't do anything. That is the crime. You didn't do what they did. You didn't quit. You didn't settle. You didn't die inside. When they look at you, they don't see a friend. They see a mirror. And that mirror shows them exactly what they were too scared to become. Your existence is an insult to their mediocrity. Let them burn. The pain truth. Understand the psychology of the herd. The herd survives on a shared hallucination. A silent agreement. I won't try if you don't try. I will accept my cage if you accept yours. It is a pact of comfort, a treaty of weakness. Then, you walk in, you with your discipline, you with your refusal to laugh at their numb jokes, you with that fire in your gut that they extinguished 10 years ago. Do you know what that does to a weak mind? It triggers a psychological collapse. They cannot admit you are working harder. Because if they admit that, they must admit they are lazy. They cannot admit you are more disciplined, because then they must admit they are chaotic. So they create a narrative. He's obsessed. She's changed. He thinks he's better than us. They frame your ascension as arrogance. They frame your focus as mental illness. Why? To protect their ego. They are not attacking you. They're defending the lie they tell themselves every night before sleep. The lie that says, I am doing my best. You are the living proof that their best is a pathetic joke. And for that, they will never forgive you. You broke the contract. You stepped out of the bucket. Now, the claws come out. Let them scratch. Let them bleed. Their resentment is simply the sound of their own potential dying. I used to wonder why the room went quiet when I entered. I used to think I had something on my face. I used to check my clothes. I used to lower my voice. I tried to shrink. I tried to fold myself into shapes that would fit their puzzles. I cut off pieces of my soul just to fit in their boxes. But the box was a coffin. I was suffocating. I could feel the dirt filling my lungs. The air of average was poisonous to my blood. I looked around. Empty eyes, hollow chests, spines made of glass, walking corpses pretending to be alive, laughing at nothing, drinking to forget the nothing, working to pay for the nothing. And I felt it, the beast, deep in the stomach, scratching at the lining, screaming, not this, anything but this. I stopped apologizing for the noise I make when I grind. I stopped apologizing for the light I cast. I realized that my loneliness was not a punishment. It was a quarantine. God, or the universe, or fate. Cleared the room. Removed the distractions. Removed the dead weight. They call me cold now. Good. Heat bleeds energy. I need 0 Kelvin to operate at this efficiency. They say I've lost my mind. No. I evicted the tenants. I cleared the squatters out of my head. Now only the mission lives here. Just me. And the silence. And the work. Pain is information. Social rejection is data. It tells you your coordinates. If everyone likes you, you are going the wrong way. If everyone understands you, you are speaking a language that is too simple. You must reframe the hate. Do not let it make you sad. Sadness is passive. Sadness is a leak. Let it make you angry. But not the chaotic anger of a child, the cold, focused wrath of a warlord. Take their whispers, take their side eyes, take their sarcastic comments, throw it all into the furnace, burn it, turn it into steam to turn the turbines of your ambition. Imagine this. Every time they doubt you, a weight is added to the bar. Every time they mock you, your skin gets thicker. Every time they exclude you, your vision gets sharper. They are unwittingly training their own conqueror. They want a reaction. They want you to cry. They want you to argue. They want you to post a paragraph explaining yourself. Do not give them a crumb. Starve them. Your silence is the ultimate disrespect. Your results are the ultimate violence. When you succeed, do not rub it in their faces. That implies you care about their faces. Walk past them. Look through them. As if they are ghosts. Because to the version of you that is rising, they are already dead. How do you weaponize this isolation? You build a fortress of habits. A structure so rigid, so formidable that chaos cannot enter. Protocol 1. The sensory diet. Cut the feed. Stop watching their lives. Block the noise. If it does not make you sharper, stronger, or richer, it does not exist. You must become a ghost to the world, so you can become a god in your craft. Disappear. The world loves the mystery. Let them wonder where you went. Let them create rumors. While they gossip, you build. Protocol 2. The physical trauma. The body must be broken to be rebuilt. You need to feel the limit, not the burn, the failure. The point where the mind screams stop, and the spirit whispers one more. You are not training for a beach body. You are training to kill the weakness in your bloodline. You are exercising the demons through sweat. Every rep is a shovel of dirt on the grave of the old you. Protocol 3, the intellectual siege. Read what they won't read. Study what they find boring. Boredom is the filter. The masses cannot handle monotony. They need flashing lights. They need dopamine hits. You fall in love with the gray. You marry the grind. Master the skills that require months of silence. That is where the value lies. In the depths where they cannot swim because the pressure would crush their skulls. Protocol 4. The time dilation. Wake up before the sun. That time is yours. The enemy is asleep. The critics are asleep. The doubters are dreaming of being you. While they dream, you manifest. 2 hours of deep work before the world wakes up puts you 10 years ahead in a lifetime. Stack the days. Relentless consistency. Not motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings are for children and victims. You operate on discipline, on duty, on the terrifying necessity of becoming who you are meant to be. Ego death moment. Visuals, a figure standing on a cliff edge dropping a mask. The mask shatters. The face underneath is stone. Here is the hardest part. You have to kill the nice guy. You have to kill the people pleaser. You have to kill the boy who wants a pat on the head. We are biologically wired to seek tribe approval. Thousands of years ago, exile meant death. If the tribe hated you, a tiger ate you. But we are not in the jungle anymore. We are in a digital coliseum. And in this arena, the tribe is the danger. The tribe is the anchor dragging you to the bottom of the ocean. You must sever the rope. It will feel like dying. The first time you choose your mission over a party, it hurts. The first time you choose study over sleep, it hurts. The first time you walk away from a friend who drains you, it tears you apart. Let it tear. That is the ego dying. That is the weakness leaving the body. You are shedding skin. Snakes do not scream when they shed, but it is uncomfortable. They rub against rocks. They scrape themselves raw. To grow, to expand, to become more venomous. You cannot take everyone with you to the summit. The air is too thin. Their lungs are not conditioned. If you try to carry them, you will both fall. Drop the weight. It sounds cruel. It is mercy. You cannot save them by staying down there with them. You can only save them by showing them that it is possible to climb. And if they hate you for climbing, then they never loved you. They loved your proximity to their failure. Accept the villain role in their story. Be the bad guy in their narrative. Because in your narrative, you are the king. Final dominant rise. Now, look at you. The silence doesn't scare you anymore. It comforts you. The hate doesn't hurt you anymore. It validates you. You walk into a room and the atmosphere shifts. Not because you are loud, but because your frequency is different. You vibrate at the level of purpose. They vibrate at the level of distraction. The interference causes them pain. That is not your fault. Let them stare. Let them whisper. Let them analyze your every move looking for a crack. They will find no cracks, only hardened steel, only scars that have healed into armor. You have reached the point of no return. You have seen the view from the mountain. You can never go back to the valley. You can never go back to pretending that their small problems matter. You can never go back to the gossip, the drama, the slow decay. You are free. Free from the need for validation. Free from the fear of judgment. Free from the chains of other people's expectations. You stand alone, but you are not lonely. You are complete. You are the storm that cleared the path. You are the nightmare of the complacent. You are the dream of the ancestors. Keep climbing. Don't look down. There is nothing there but ghosts and echoes. Look up. There is more to conquer. Always more. They hate you because they see their failure in your eyes. Good. Make them look. Force them to see it. Let your success be the mirror that breaks their delusion. Shine so bright that they have to close their eyes, and when they open them again, you will be gone. On to the next peak. Are you the mirror, or are you the reflection? If you are ready to walk the path alone, if you are done begging for scraps of approval, comment discipline. If you're done being weak, subscribe. The work begins now.